HT high titer. And again, remember, typically, even manually, when you're doing manually, you have to do low titer first. Yes. So that is just basically it. So you select your sample and you say that you want to do a low titer IgM for A1. Again, this is where we have said you can do again the same thing, low titer IgM anti-A and low titer IgM anti-B in this at the same time. The only thing that is going to do, it is going to use 2 strips of your plate. And again, this is where we also said for the same sample you can select IgM anti-A or IgM anti-B and also an IgG anti-A because they are using different plates. Are we together? Yeah, so that is basically it. And then the others is where once you load the sample, you select the assay, you load your resources, and then, for example, here it is showing me that IgM has all the plates available, has all the reagents available, because probably there's already a scanned microplate here. So that's why it is. So it will. The other thing is just to show you. It will just direct you the normal way. That if there's a missing reagent or a missing control here, then it will tell you to add it. So basically, that is the whole thing to do with the antibody titers. To know the clinical significance, to know the situations where especially we do it, especially in more critical procedures like organ transplant, and especially for the platelet transfusion. I know maybe in our region, but that is Africa, we don't go into the details of that. If you want to, we just know a blood group O is a universal donor. But for places like Europe, this machine is really being used for the IgG, for the antibody titers before you transfuse even blood group O to any other recipient who is not a blood group O. So those are just the few situations that you may be needed to do this IgG thing. So I think I'm done on my side unless there's any question. Just to highlight that we also have, this machine is also able to do platelet cross-match. Of course, that one needs another plate to do it, not the capture select. So we have the capture P plates. It's able to do the capture, the platelet cross-match. If at all you may reach to that level, you need a lot of more detailed tests. Yeah, and also probably, though I'm going to share the brochures and all the other information for the TPHA is back to this equipment, and also we have the C3D. So instead, there's a way probably you use the C3D there. Probably this one also may share more details on it on the same TPHA, platelet cross-match, and what else? The C3D. So I think I'm done on my side. But I wanted to insist on the cut-off points, which I think you will need to agree from your end. So any question? I hope I've tried to do it perfectly well. Yeah, and I will share the PowerPoint that has more details on the same. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Yeah, probably, yes? Oh no, we can, actually we can start, we can run. Actually it had everything, so let me just start. So now, okay, maybe this PowerPoint will be important so that you don't get discouraged when you are doing it. So, but for the test that you have done here previously, you will realize that most of the antibody titers are 2 or 4. There are some tests that we have done here, and most of the samples that we have done, ikienda sana ni 4. So 64 is on the higher side. So now with that nini, now you can also put your cutoff. Yes. You have to? High titer. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, because of probably the few tests that you have done here and probably elsewhere, like in Kenyatta in that research, is that the titers for the blood group O are not more than ikienda sana 8 around here in our region. So now, using that information and the test that you're going to do and the literature that is available, probably for you, you can put your cutoff at 16. Just a suggestion or something like that. Yes. Yeah, that's why. Yes. But I think 64 is more, yeah. Yeah. Yes. In Kenya, probably Kenyatta had do it once in a while. For you, probably you'll do it. Maybe Nairobi Hospital are in the process. Especially, this is coming up, especially because of the organ transplants. Yeah, and before maybe you acquire the higher HLA system. Yes. So the reason for that capture P, here the platelets cross match, is that it is able to capture the HPA group. So once it is compatible, you can be sure, even if you will not do, and it is a bit less expensive than doing the HPA on, probably, don't know whether you do it on the flow cytometry or on our, for example, on our HLA system still by Immucor. But capture P now cross match, at least when you do that and it is compatible, you don't really need to go to the more expensive flow cytometry or the life codes, our life codes from Immucor. Yeah. So I was looking for this. Sometimes it can be, if you are doing one sample, one sample for the low IgM is 20 minutes. 12 samples in one plate is 30 minutes. If you are doing the whole plate together, like 12 samples, it will take 30 minutes. Yes. Yes, 12 samples. So that could be important. So that